Hello, yes, hi, and welcome to the Dark Knight Conspiracies, episode 17. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I want to take this moment out to wish everybody and their families and loved ones a very happy Thanksgiving. I encourage everybody to get with your families. Do not change any of your normal traditions, regardless of what the fears are. This is a time for families to get together and give thanks. And if your neighbors snitch on you and the police show up, tell them you're having a peaceful protest or you're having a funeral for your turkey. Now, with that aside, since Donald Trump took office, by far, this has got to be the shortest press conference he ever had. This was just a little bit over a minute. We've seen a lot of action today in the news, and I'm going to go over some of these things. And as always, I'll leave the links to everything. So I want to start by playing the press conference, and I want you to notice no Kayleigh McEnany, Trump, and Pence, and that's it. So let's take a listen.
Well, thank you very much, and I just want to congratulate everybody. The stock market Dow Jones Industrial Average just hit 30,000, which is the highest in history. We've never broken 30,000, and that's just despite everything that's taken place with the pandemic. I'm very thrilled with what's happened on the vaccine front. That's been absolutely incredible. It's, nothing like that has ever happened medically, and I think people are acknowledging that, and it's having a big effect. But the stock market's just broken 30,000. Never been broken, that number. That's a sacred number, 30,000. Nobody thought they'd ever see it. That's the ninth time since the beginning of 2020, and it's the 48th time that we've broken records in during the Trump administration. And I just want to congratulate all the people within the administration that worked so hard. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the people of our country because there are no people like you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. President, are you going to concede? Oh, my God, Mr. President, please concede. Bunch of effing clowns. Now, something interesting was said here. The Dow hitting 30,000 was a sacred number. Go do your research and look up the number 30 in the Bible, and you will get all kind of biblical texts defining what this number means. I do believe this was a message to the American people. I do believe in his own way he was thanking the American people that he couldn't have done it without us. Now, most of you will say, well, done what? He lost the election. He's not conceding, and he has not lost this election. The people on the left will tell you this was more like a concession speech that he's given up. He's acknowledging that he lost. Don't bet on it. Trump has a way of getting his messages out. I believe there was a message in here. I also believe, based on what happened after this short press conference, and again, notice how nobody was there but him and Pence, that something is getting ready to go down. And we saw this shortly after. Now, I'll also go back to the art of war. Appear weak when you are strong. And I believe this is what Donald Trump did here. So let's get to what happened shortly after. We had Michigan certify their election yesterday. Georgia has certified. Pennsylvania certified today. And Nevada also certified today. Shortly after Nevada certified their election, Sidney Powell and Linwood made an announcement that Sidney Powell will be filing a major lawsuit in Georgia tomorrow. Now, let me give you my analogy of this. They're expecting this to be a big bombshell. I don't know. But Sidney Powell has said this will be biblical and she will blow up the state of Georgia. My analogy on this, why Georgia is the first state, and I believe it's optics. I believe because Georgia's got a Republican governor and a Republican Secretary of State. The reason they're starting with Georgia is they're going to go after the Republicans first. This way, when they start going after the rest of these states, which are democratically run, the left can't accuse them of being Donald Trump being vindictive, being vengeful. Now they're going to start with the Republicans to show that this is not partisan. They're not picking sides. They're not choosing who to go after and who not to go after. Folks, they're going after everybody. So buckle up because it's getting ready to go down. So here's the article. Sidney Powell is dropping her lawsuit tomorrow. We'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out what happens. And again, you can read the article. And this is Linwood's tweet. The lawsuit Sidney will be filing tomorrow in Georgia speaks truth. Enemies of America will deny its allegations. Do not believe them. Believe Sidney and me. We love America and freedom, and our enemies do not. I'm hearing numerous reports. I cannot confirm them. They're not just talking about the 2020 election here. They're going to go back to 2018. They're going to go back to 2016. They're going to go as far back as 2012. Multiple sources, I can't confirm, and this is why it's called the conspiracy show. Multiple sources are saying these witnesses that Linwood and Sidney Powell have are actually undercover agents. They've been installed for years, and they are also under witness protection programs. This is how serious this is, and this is how covert this has been. This is a silent operation, if you want to call it. Not too many people in the loop. I don't know who these people work for, whether it's the fake Bureau of Investigations or the Department of Jerks. Don't know. But just like Trump until today, Bill Barr's been silent. Not sure if he's involved in this. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm not throwing judgment in there yet, but everything's leaning to the other side with the Justice Department here. This stuff is so corrupt, you don't know who to trust. So let's see how it plays out. Let's see what's in the lawsuit. Evidence will become public tomorrow, so we'll get to see. We'll see if it's a bombshell or not. So in other news, we learned the annual tradition, the pardoning of turkeys. Well, we learned the names of the turkeys yesterday. One was called Corn, the other was called Cobb. Now I'm going to come back to this in a minute. The reason why corn is important for all those of you that are on the follow the CUE movement, number 17, letter of the alphabet. In a DOJ report and an IG report, former FBI Director James Comey, he's mentioned more than 164 times in this document. The problem is his name is misspelled. Accordingly. So what happens here is when you pull up these documents and you do a search within the document, if you type in Comey, his name won't come up. But if you type in Corny, the name comes up. Now, you can see the obvious spellings, but here's the significance. Two parts to this. If you actually look at Comey, the M closely resembles an R and an N put together. Now, why is this significant? Because his names, and you can read these documents, they're all linked here, so you can see what I'm stating is truth. Why this is important. If you file a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act, your request has to be accurate to the point where the name needs to be correctly spelled. So if you are filing a FOIA request for documents related to James Comey, they do a search just like I described. If the name Comey comes up or don't come up, they will respond back to you and say, sorry, our search turned up nothing in this request. But if your FOIA request would have said corny, like it's described here, then you would have been able to get all these documents. This is how sneaky these people are. So let's go back to the pardoning of the turkeys. Now, Trump did pardon Corn and Cobb. To my understanding, Cobb has nothing to do with anything, but Corn is significant. If we go to the CUE board, and these are photos James Comey tweeted out in his Twitter feed. And this was post 3525 on July 27, 2019. And it shows him in the picture of a cornfield. There are numerous examples within this board if you do a search. Was the corn ripe for harvesting? It is now. Post 2943 specifically mentions corny. Some would say this was a misspelling in the post. No, this was deliberate. And you can go through and these are all the results that came up for corn. So you can do your own research. Y'all know how to find the board. I'll link it. So here's my interpretation of him pardoning the turkey named Corn. I believe this was a signal to the deep state. We got James Comey, and he's talking. In other words, he made a deal. Now, he's not going to walk away scot-free. He's going to do jail time. But I do believe he staved off a death sentence. And this was the reason for the pardon. And this was the message being sent. So for all you people out there thinking Joe Biden's going to be your president, Kamala Harris is going to be your vice president, you see all these Obama people that they're putting in their cabinet. Well, I'm going to leave you with one message. Yes, you are. Because Trump is going to prove that there was election fraud. He is going to prove that he is the legitimate president of the 2020 election. We'll have to see what happens Thanksgiving and Black Friday, as they call it. We got to see what's in Sidney Powell's lawsuit tomorrow. I'm just speculating. We may see a presidential announcement on the TV on Thursday, maybe Friday. We know they've got Antifa and BLM sitting in the shadows. Is this the moment they unleash them? Because they're not stopping. They're moving forward. This is going to get fast and furious. Oh, wasn't that a case under Eric Holder? Oh, never mind the pun. This is going to go so fast, people. This is biblical. This is going to be a great awakening for those of you that have not gotten right with God. I ask you to please do so. Time is running out. We don't know when the window will close. So, with that being said, on a merry note, please have a blessed, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your life. Be strong, be safe, be vigilant, and praise be to God. Thank you, everybody, and good night.